Hey, word on the street is your binoculars are from 1976. Do you want some cool ones from Vortex? Yeah, you do. Like, comment, subscribe. We're giving them away every single month of the season. So if you like, comment, and subscribe, you're entered. Who doesn't like free stuff? All right, guys, so I am going to give you a little lesson. This is for all you guys who are public land hunters. Send this to your buddies. You guys are going on a public land trip, right? You're gonna go on a trip out of state for the first time ever, for the second time ever, for the 20th time ever. I want you to look at this from a different perspective. Even myself, I go in looking at it the way that I do. Well, I always bounce ideas off of other buddies who are like pretty knowledgeable, but they look at things differently. And I'm gonna give you a tip or strategy to focus on that very well might kill you a buck, okay? I would pick, when scouting and looking at maps, I would pick topographical features over habitat. Now, what do I mean? Well, first of all, hopefully you know how to read topo features, guys, because if you don't, you are missing the boat. I can predict movement for miles in some portions of the country just by looking at a topographical map, and most people tell you, no, you can't do that. Well, I've done it enough. I've designed properties all over this country, hundreds of them. I figured that out. So I will pick topo over habitat. So what I mean is that I will pay attention to topographical flow, ridge tops, saddles, leeward ridges, bottoms, draws, leeward draws, all these things to predict deer movement, and then I will look at the you know, is it a clear cut? Is it an agriculture field? Is it a big woods like scenario? Like, and a little quick tip for you, like if you're not sure, like look at the canopy of the trees. Scroll into Onyx or Hunt Stand or whatever the hell you guys are using and look at the canopy of those trees. You can, like, literally, if you're a logger or a forester, and I've done this with properties before, buying them and never even going to look at them, I can determine what age class of timber is on that property by looking at that canopy. But anyway, guys, here's what I will say. Topography never changes, okay? Habitat does. So even if your maps aren't up to date, you know, that habitat you get there and it can be slightly different. And don't get me wrong, I like the clear cuts. I like the edge habitat where it's clear cut against big woods and big woods against ag and all these other cool things. You should pay attention to that. But I think you take the next step when you start paying attention to topography first, and then lining it up with where does that topographical line run into the clear cuts, the this, the that, especially on, here's your quick tips, guys, on the top thirds of the ridges. Okay, pay attention to some of those topo lines. All of a sudden, if you have a picture of a buck and he's over here on this topo line, follow that topo line. Follow that topo line across your map, and he probably takes that topo line. Why? Because he wants the path of least resistance. He doesn't want to go up and down if he doesn't have to. Well, Brett, we don't have a lot of topographical flow in my area. I live in swamps. I live in the big woods, up north or northern Minnesota. That's fine. Still pay attention to topographical flow. What do you mean? When you go on Onyx and you type, or you click hybrid, or you click topography, and you go to your property and it's only got one damn line on it, that is enough. That is enough to dictate movement, guys. If you're in swamp country and you have one line that runs across your property, that is enough for deer to either walk on that line, which helps you predict movement going in, which helps you predict what wind direction to go in. That will all tell you what those deer are moving. They're either on that line or they are paralleling that line, walking with that line. So now if you're a property owner or a guy hunting in public land where there's only one or two topographical lines on your map, follow them. Go scout them, go walk them. That is where the deer sign is. Now, if you're in hill country, top thirds of the ridges, I want you to pay attention to. I want you to pay attention to ridge points that jet out to the northeast and ridge points that jet out to the southeast. Why? Because we can hunt those on northwest and southwest winds, which are the most popular. And now when you look at those, where do they go? Where does that topo line, those top couple topo lines, where do they flow to? Is it to a draw? Is it to a drainage? Pay attention to topo over habitat, guys. Pay attention to topo first, then move on to habitat and see what habitat changes those topographical lines take you to. I do not care if you're in the hills of Missouri. I don't care if you're in the Ozarks. I don't care if you're in PA. I don't care if you're in Maine. I don't care if you're in northern Minnesota. The topography is different in all those areas. Still pay attention to it. I can tell you for a fact in these flat, even swampy ground areas, guys, that topographical flow, one line on a single map on a 100-acre property can help you predict the movement, tell you how your deer are getting from point A to point B. And now if you can look at that one little line on your flat maps and you see that the egg's over here and then the bedding or the suspected bedding or clear cut is over there, whether you're going on this out-of-state hunt, whatever, is there to there, well, now you know how they're getting from point A to point B. Set up off wind, and kill those bucks, guys. So topography over habitat every time. Topography first, then habitat. Don't care if you're in hill country, don't care if you're in flat country. No matter what, guys, you need to pay attention to topography.